Every life begins with a speck of light. We open our eyes and see our surroundings. The smell of our mothers, the flowers of the garden, the waves sweeping the sand, and finally, without us even noticing, we end up contemplating the creation of the universe. Years pass by, and we continue to grow up, but sadly, the things that were once beautiful and magical become now dull and boring. We start staring at our phones for hours, wondering, when will the taxi arrive? Instead of, will those endangered species survive? We forget our visits to the zoo, our love for the animals, and the care we had for nature. Gradually, we replace these feelings with a craving for money, a lust for fame and a hunger for power. We become selfish and start supporting industries that sell us products at a low price. But suddenly, we turn our heads and don't see that these come with a huge cost for the environment. We become greedy and look for any possible way to get oil from inside the earth to inside our gas tank. Faulty oil tankers start to be produced in order to save some money. Defective pipelines are built in order to save some time. Finally, we become careless and try to ignore the suffering of millions of wonderful species of plants and animals. We try to cover things up, only to repeat the story another time. This is how gallons of oil are spread through the ocean, a black shadow swallowing everything that gets in its path. But no, there must be an end to this nightmare. How many times I've listened to adults say, children are the future, but what future we will have if the planet continues to be ruined, if the seas continue to be polluted? It's time to rise together against illegal dumpers and careless industries which cause oil spills to happen very often, and without a reason. It's time to save the oceans. It's time to save the animals. It's time to save ourselves from a dark, dark future. There is still hope, but it is on us to do something about it. Now, take my hand, and let's start to make some noise.